Good evening. We'd like to call the regular meeting of the Cumberland Fire District for September 27th to order at 7:16. Commissioner Ouellette and Commissioner Perrin are working, and Commissioner Kutsiani said he's going to be late but not to hold the meeting up. If we could stand for a moment of silence. And tonight we'd like to recognize and keep in mind and say a prayer for Fire Department of New York, Battalion 19, Battalion Chief Michael Fahey, Wilmington, Delaware Fire Department D Platoon Engine 6 Lieutenant Chris Leach, Wilmington, Delaware Fire Department Platoon C, Squad 4, Senior Firefighter Jerry Fix, all three giving their lives this week in the line of duty. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First item is general announcements. Before I go on with mine, is there any general announcements tonight? Here we have a resolution before us tonight. It's Resolution 41. It's to recognize the men of the Cumberland Fighters Local 2722 and Chief Kenneth Finley for the incredible community event they organized and provided to the town of Cumberland. This year's Touch a Truck drew over 7,000 people. So be it resolved by the Cumberland Fire Committee as follows. Whereas Local 2722 and Chief Kenneth Finley organized and provided a touch truck community participation event held at Diamond Hill Park. Whereas the following events were part of the day. The national anthem was sung by Cumberland's Kelly Lennon. Tony Lepori Sr., the dancing cop, attended. Miss Rhode Island was there. Events by the Rhode Island State Police and National Grid. Remax and Sterry Street Towing. And Cumberland Recreations Department Rent-A-Train. With coverage by 630 WPRO Steve Clampkin and WPRI TV 12 Rosie Woods. Whereas the following local communities helped sponsor the event: Navigate Credit Union, Channel 12, CVS Health, and Community Heroes. Whereas Navigate Credit Union and CVS Health provided a team of 25 employees to help out in various areas. Whereas all 51 members of the CFD Local 2722 and Chief Kenneth Finley had a hand in planning, organizing, and execution of the many working parts that go into serving our community through the 7,000 people that attended. A special thank you to Mayor Bill Murray, Cumberland Rescue, Cumberland Highway, and Cumberland Parks and Recreation for their involvement and extra efforts. Whereas we'd like to also recognize Cumberland Police Officer Hicks from the Cumberland Police Department, who was the originator of the Touch a Truck. Therefore, be resolved that the Cumberland Fire District as follows. On that behalf of the town of Cumberland, the Cumberland Fire District Fire Committee expresses its deep appreciation to Local 2722. It is community involvement such as this that is the heart of the local firefighter. Pleasure of the board.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Champagne to approve, seconded by Commissioner Amata. Any other comments or additions? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it passes 4-0. Next item is consent agenda approval of the minutes from 8/23/2016. Pleasure of the board.
Motion to approve.
Commissioner Champagne moves to approve. The second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Amata. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-0. Finance reports went out on Thursday. According to Finance Director Carol Lishan, who, sorry, I should have mentioned her at the beginning. She's on vacation. She said no questions came in, so pleasure of the board.
I'll make a motion to accept the finance reports ending July 31st and August 31st.
Second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Amata. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-0. Next item, Resolution 42. is a resolution, if I can get there. Authorizing chairman to enter into contract with Parmelli, Poria and Associates for auditing services for the fiscal year ending 2016 in an amount not to exceed $15,000. Whereas the Cumberland Fire District is in need of auditing services for the fiscal year 2016, whereas the Cumberland Fire District received bids for one-year contract fiscal year 2016 with options to extend for fiscal year 2017 and 2018 from two firms. Whereas the Cumberland Fire District accepted the proposal of Palmieri, Poria, and Associates under Resolution 2015-43 and chooses to exercise this option for this fiscal year. Now, therefore, be resolved in Section 1, the chairman to enter into a contract with Palmieri, Poria, and Associates for auditing services for the fiscal year ending 2016 in an amount not to exceed $15,000. Pleasure of the board.
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
First by Commissioner Champagne, second by Commissioner Mata. One comment, that is a budgeted line item for $15,000 in this year's budget. Any comments?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner.
you said it was an option for this year? We don't have a set 3-year deal with them?
Solicitor.
So the original proposal was a 3-year proposal, but you were allowed to, it was an option for the second and third year. So you basically accepted the proposal in the first year, and you're now exercising option number 1, and you'll have to do the same thing next year.
Okay.
So
it's just an option on our end, right?
Right, and it's, right, exactly. So they've given you the option to have a 3-year contract, but you only have to do it in 1-year increments.
Okay. I just want to let you know I will not be supporting this proposal. I was not happy with their first audit, as we'd never reviewed it, and that's been my continued complaint, so I will be voting against this renewal for Palmieri, Poria and Associates.
Thank you, Commissioner. Just to note for the record that the audit was reviewed. It was reviewed in December, and there was time allotted during the month of January for any questions or additional, need to bring the auditors back. We set up for an Audit 101 class by that time Finance Director Tom Bruce. No one had attended. We had to cancel it. We set up a time for Mr. Bruce to be president of his office. Commissioner Kutsiani came in for that time. No one else did, and so there was no need to bring anybody else back in. There's no need to approve or disapprove an audit because we can't. And the audit's been posted on the internet website since back in February, anyway, January, February. So the time, and I've offered to answer still any questions, and we haven't got any. Any other comments or additions?
I will comment on one thing, that December was not a review of the audit. December, it was presented to us that night.
Right, and you had...
Not in complete form yet.
Okay, but you had it, and then the month of January, we opened up several times for review, questions.
Because we had to submit our questions, and that's not how we should be operating, because that is not transparent.
Well, to submit questions in writing, I'm not sure what's not transparent about that, but it's, seems pretty transparent. But I appreciate your opinion, Mr. Scullin.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Mr. Mata.
The State Auditor General and Business Regulation, they had any comments or questions or criticism about this report?
They were very happy with it. Good
Thank
point.
you.
Good point, Mr. Mata. Any other comments on the resolution to allow me to enter into the agreement? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
Passes 3-1. What's that? There was a motion by Commissioner Champagne to approve, and then Commissioner Mata seconded, and it passed 3-1. Mrs. Scullin and the negative. Next item, Resolution 43, authorizing the abatement of certain taxes for property owned by various owners for various reasons, per the attached report. The tax collector has determined the abatement of certain tax bills are required. The total abatement amount is $6,754.43. This is supported with addenda also attached. In the body of the resolution is the abatements, and then attached is the offsetting either new charges where they might be switching from one account to another. Pleasure of the board.
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Champagne to approve. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Amata. Any comments? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-0. Next item, Resolution 44. Authorize the payment of $3,394.06 to Ralco Equipment Company for repairs to Truck 1. Chief, you could just go over this real quick. You can stay in your seat and just use the mic.
Truck 1 was having a starting problem, and we sent it in. We originally thought it might be batteries. We sent it in. The batteries were fine. We learned that the battery switch itself, there's a master disconnect switch in the cab of the vehicle, and it had, over a period of time, arced as it was being turned on, so it created a gap, and it wasn't allowing full voltage to go through to get to the starter. So we had Ralco change the switch, and there was still a drag on the starter, which was the original starter in the vehicle from 2000. So we had that rebuilt by Ace Armature in Pawtucket. And while they were there was a few other issues that had shown up as they were doing: a broken spring in one of the rear brake shoes, a leaking wheel seal. So while it was there waiting for the starter to be taken care of, I had them do everything that needed to be done so that the vehicle would be in safe operation.
Thank you, Chief. Pleasure of the board.
Motion to approve.
Commissioner Champagne moves to approve Resolution 44. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Amata. Any questions or comments? Chief, it was REC was completed with your approval?
Yes.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passes 4-0. Next item, Resolution 45, authorizing the payment of $2,772.88 to Minuteman Trucking for repairs to Engine 5. Chief Finley.
On Engine 5, we had a multitude of electronic issues. We had sought to have local vendors do it, and because of the electronics and the proprietary software that PS has, we were forced to go back to Minuteman with the vehicle. They did their electronic diagnosis, and we have repairs being done for the remote control deck gun. The hood pistons were something we knew about that could have been done locally, but we had to get the pistons from Minuteman anyway, so while the truck was parked at Minuteman, they did all the work for us.
Thank you, Chief. Pleasure of the board.
Motion to approve.
Commissioner Champagne moves to approve. Is there a second by Commissioner Amata? Any comments or questions? Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passes 4-0. Next item, Resolution 46, authorizing payment of $4,494.35 to Waterway Incorporated for repairs and testing services. Chief.
Through the Woonsocket Mutual Aid Fire Chiefs Association, we secured a bid for services with the 7 communities that are involved in that. And this was one of the bids that we put into play along with the ladder testing earlier this year. Waterway came in and in a matter of 2 days tested all of the fire hose on the truck, both supply line, large diameter, 4-inch to 5-inch, all the attack lines, the 1 3/4 and the 2.5-inch, and repacked the beds on all 6 engines that we have. And the amount came down to 22 cents a foot is what they were charging us to do it, and it was done. We've tried to do this in the past, and it's been an all-summer project. You get the truck stripped, you get interrupted by calls. This just seemed to be, and it worked out very well, and probably will be the way I'll do it in the future.
Pleasure.
Chief Finley,
Yes.
is this an annual inspection?
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
ISO and the insurance company both require it.
Pleasure of the board. Motion by Commissioner Champagne to approve. Is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner Motta. Chief?
Yes.
So there is a certificate that we have on file now?
Yeah, it's, the way they do it is it's web-based, and all the hose that was tested, we have identifying marks on all our hose. So each hose was registered into their database, which is web-based and online, the date that it was tested, the pressures that it was tested to, and the amount of time that it was tested.
So if you had done this on your own, how would you have got it certified? Just by your own, your own hand?
Just by putting it on the same card that we had used in years past.
Okay.
It had never been challenged before, but the litigious situation that we are in this environment, it seemed like a much better way to go. And it is an independent testing firm. When I met with the insurance for the auditors, they were very pleased that we were taking an independent view to do a certification.
One more question. How are the hoses marked or identified?
There's ID tags that are placed on the couplings with a serial number, and we thought ahead, and we have a barcode on the serial tags if we ever get to the point where we want to use a scanner similar to they're using in the tax office.
Was that started in the old station, the old Cumberland Hill?
I'm not sure exactly which station started it, but it was incorporated in all 4 stations prior. We've just retitled everything Cumberland Fire Department, so there is a consistent booking of where the hose is assigned to each apparatus.
So the tag, it stays on during when you need it in a fire, you're using the hose?
Yeah, it's a very durable tag.
Wow. That's very good.
It took a couple of tests to get to the right company, but we've got a company that is, it's an aluminumized tag, so it's pretty beefy, and it works out and holds up very well. We have it on the hand tools, and even on the hand tools it stays.
Department-wide?
Yeah.
Is pretty much all our equipment tagged like that?
Yeah.
Are we pretty close to starting an inventory process?
Oh, yeah. We're more than close. I would say better than 75% done.
But I mean, no, scanned and put into the system, into a piece of software?
Yeah, we have it. It's all on emergency reporting now. Or pretty close. I shouldn't say all of it. There's a good portion of it that's on.
Wow.
And again, that's been a collateral duty that a couple of
great
members have been entering,
Yeah.
you know, when they've had some downtime, which hasn't been too much.
Very good. Any other questions, comments? Hearing none, all those in favor? Opposed? And it passes 4-0. Public input. Any public input? Hearing none, adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Commissioner Champagne,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Motta. All those in favor? Opposed? Passes 4-0. Meeting is adjourned at 7:35.